What's up, guys and gals? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys a very, very late episode review of none other than Dr. Stone. Now, right off the bat, guys, before we get underway, I just need to quickly apologize for the lateness in this review. I know that the next episode is coming up very soon, probably sometime tomorrow, and that kind of thing. But unfortunately, I won't be able to get that review out until probably Monday, because bachelor party, the wife was down last week and part of this week, and she just went home and stuff. So for those of you who don't know my situation, I have a long-distance wife. Is what it is. If you want details, watch one of my live streams where I'll answer a bunch of questions. Suffice to say, I didn't have time to do a lot of video content on YouTube, and this is one of the things that hit on the back burner. Now, same thing for this weekend, a weekend-long bachelor party for my other friend who is now getting married. So he's getting married in October. We're having the bachelor party for him this weekend coming up. And so Friday, Saturday, Sunday are just booked solid, right? So that being said, I wanted to try to get this out as quick as possible and stuff like that. So we're just going to jump right in. I just finished watching the episode. That just goes to show you I've been so busy because I didn't even get a chance to watch it on any free time. But I did watch it, and this covers quite a few chapters. Suffice it to say, I'm going to try to keep this relatively brief, though, because honestly, this section, unlike most episodes, I didn't really notice. I managed to basically double-check the manga chapters earlier in the day that I thought would follow this chapter, and pretty much or this episode, sorry. But pretty much to me, this is a very classic version of, once again, OVA style. This is, a lot of animes are doing this more, and I've said this in previous episode reviews, is that the Dr. Stone anime seems to be doing more of an OVA thing. This whole episode, pretty much, has very, very little exaggeration or anything. Of course, things are animated, and things are open, widened, and that kind of stuff a little bit. But suffice it to say, there wasn't really any changes from the manga here. Not that I noticed anyways. There wasn't different placement of scenes. There wasn't anything added. I felt like the speech between Taiju and Senku doing their speech at the same time was very, it was more pronounced and stuff. But once again, that's in lieu of the anime. I've said this before, that I love this manga and I love Baichi. Probably always butchering that name. But the anime has been stellar with its voice acting and its soundtrack, and the animation has been pretty good as well for the most part. So I feel like this episode was another example of doing it better. Outside of the speech, however, not really any great moments for me. Nothing that I was like, oh wow, like last episode, very good moment, very, very good. And unfortunately, this is the true beginning of Dr. Stone. This is basically, we had our prologue, first 4 or 5 episodes, that was our prologue. Same with the manga, like the first 10, 12 chapters. That was the prologue. Introduced you to the situation, the characters. Now let's actually jump into the main series. So the episode goes on pretty standard. Senku does wake up, but we get an entire, once again, flashback continuing on from the time he built the house and built everything, right? And got the clothes, and he was the shiny monkey who was a human. And he got his clothes and all that stuff. Then we see him starting to say, okay, I gotta figure this out. I gotta do stuff. But he realizes that one human can't do all the work that's necessary. He's going to exhaust himself. So, of course, his first thing is to go find his friend, Taiju. He wants to go find Taiju, and he wants to revive him. And that's great, because we do get a nice moment here near the midpoint of the episode involving them. But he is trying to figure out this entire, and this is a well-done sequence. The first part of the episode, the first half is probably my favorite part. I really like this, where he's going through the motions, trying to figure out, and it's very interesting. He realizes E equals MC squared, all that stuff. He's trying to figure out, he figures out the nitric acid thing. He goes back and he realizes, okay, what are the 3 possibilities, or more, that what happened to humanity? What was this petrification? How did it all happen? We get a lot of background. We get a lot of inner monologuing from Senku, and that's usually where the core of the series lies, is Senku's inner thinking and his explanations. Those are what really draws you in and makes you think yourself. I really enjoyed that, and I love the fact that we see him struggling, and he's, he's getting deterred, and there's some comedic moments, but also we see him, exhausting himself to the point of just, he he misses his friend and stuff, and he's like, he has this moment where he's looking at the stone taiju and stuff, and he's just like, you gotta wake up soon, because I know you won't give up, sort of idea. And then nearly, when he finally figures it out that, okay, well, there must be some type of solution, and then he realizes the cells, his mind kept thinking all this stuff, and that's, of course, because we know that the nitric acid isn't enough. We already found this out in the first episode. The nitric acid alone is not enough to revive anybody. So he's sitting back, and he's considering, and he's thinking about it, and he finally he grabs Taiju, he drags him basically to the cave where we know he wakes up and basically says, well, naturally, like, I know you'll wake up, sort of idea. You have to wake up, you big oaf. And this is where Senku, we jump back and forth from past to present, and Taiju's screaming at Senku, of course, trying to, like, with a broken neck, sort of idea on the ground, being like, you have to wake up, and they have the same speech. I don't fully remember it word for word, but it was really nice, and they're both yelling at each other, basically saying, I can't do this without you. I know you're as stubborn as I am. You'll never give up. I need you here with me. Wake the hell up, sort of idea. Don't leave me. Wake up. Get up, sort of idea. And it's very nice speech. They do the duality of it, and in the manga, it's good. The anime makes it better. Every single time. This has been really stellar. They're taking great moments in a great manga, well drawn, and they're animating it properly. They're adding the right sound, the right tone. It's really, really good. I'm just really enjoying it. So, in the end, what happens is Senku does wake up and stuff, and everyone, of course, they're happy about it. We have a comedic moment, we have a bit of a serious moment, and then they're like, okay, so here's the deal. We basically have to split up, like, you guys are basically going to be spies. He gives usually a mission. He whispers a mission. We don't know what it is yet. He whispers to her and basically says, can you handle this sort of idea? And the less Taiju knows, the better. So, basically says to him, like, all right, we got to split up. You guys, basically, he doesn't know I'm dead, or he doesn't know I'm alive. He thinks I'm dead. This is the number one good thing. This is our key advantage, is that he thinks he's ended the threat. So you guys go there, you infiltrate his kingdom of might, and one day, whether it's days, months, years, eventually our kingdom of science will be born, and I'll come back, and we'll defeat Tsukasa and his kingdom of might with science, right? That's their goal. There's the two nations that they're going to be the kingdom of might, it's going to be the kingdom of science, and they're just going to clash. They're going to butt heads, right? So they basically walk off, and they do a very stoic, very logical goodbye and stuff, and then, Taiju realizes he might not see Senku for a very long time after they basically just reunited again after 3,700 years. He runs up and he's about to yell. He starts yelling, and he realizes that, he can't yell because Tsukasa might hear and stuff, so he just fists in the air sort of idea, very One Piece sort of moment, that whole, sort of idea with Vivi and stuff in One Piece. Same similar idea. Senku looks on. You think he's going to cry. He doesn't cry. He takes a little handkerchief made of like stars and rocket. It's supposed to be like the flag of the Science Kingdom. And he ties it to a stick he had, and he raises the flag up to say, yeah, we'll see you soon, buddy, sort of idea, right? No matter how long it takes, we'll see you again. And he says something pretty cool, something badass, like, waited almost 4,000 years. What's a few more? You can wait a few more, until we're copacetic again. So after this, we see that the girl who lit Senku's whole plan is to go and figure out who lit that smoke signal. Hopefully Tsukasa hasn't found them yet, because if that's the case, there are other people here. He might be able to use them to his advantage, because he needs manpower to rebuild this kingdom of science and refigure everything out, try to build weaponry, use science against the kingdom of might, of course. So he's off there searching. This is where we jump over to Tsukasa and the young woman who is, of course, in the opening, Kohaku, who is actually, like, she's standing there. Tsukasa thinks that she's a revived person, doesn't understand. He's like, who are you? What's going on? Sort of idea. And then she was holding flowers, looking all cute. She takes out 2 knives and she starts doing some ninja martial arts shit. She starts doing some of that crazy Jet Li stuff. And Tsukasa's managing to hold her back, but she's actually like pushing him a little bit, and he's like, there's no way, wait a minute, like nobody was this good in martial arts. And he's like, wait a minute, blue eyes, half Japanese, what's going on here? So he's trying to figure everything out, and then he kind of realizes that what generation are you from? These are primitive people, and they believe at the very least, Tsukasa believes that clearly there were some revived people, and this is a generation from many, many years. Like, these are more primitive people at this point, because she keeps saying that she witnessed everything. She saw him kill the sorcerer gentleman, and keeps saying the mountains rage and stuff like that, and he's connecting the dots. Tsukasa's not stupid. He's not Senku, but he's not stupid, right? So realizes that this woman must be very primitive, calling Senku, a scientist, a sorcerer, and calling the black powder like the mountains rage, and the volcanic eruption like the mountains fire, sort of idea, right? So he's sitting there like, okay, what's going on here? So he ends up saying, well, I need to get back to that cave of miracle water. That's the most important task for me right now. He cuts a tree, it lands on her, and he just leaves. He doesn't finish her off. I mean, it does fit Tsukasa's character, but he just pieces. So Senku actually comes along and finds her and goes, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so there's a giant-ass 1-ton tree trunk on you. And he's going down there like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And basically says, okay, here's the deal. There's a chance I can risk this, and I can try to blow up this tree right now. It's a risk. Might not work, and we can try to get you out of here right now. But if you can endure this until about nightfall, if you can endure this pain and this trunk on you, I guarantee you I will save you. But you have to make this decision. I can't make this decision for you. And this is something where he's timed, and you see the sweat coming down Senku's face. He's very, very pressured by this, because he's like, this is not for my choice to make. This is you're basically the patient's choice. It's the customer sort of idea. Like, Senku is not meant to be a king. He's not trying to sit on any type of throne, right? He's trying to restore things and go back to doing what he wants to do. He's not trying to be a leader. He's not trying to make people's decision for them. So in this instance, it's very true. He's just like, I can save you. What I logically want to do is, of course, the nightfall thing, right? But he's sitting there like, but that's not my decision to make. You are the one suffering. You're the one in pain right now. What do you want me to attempt to do? And so she looks at him. This is the sorcerer gentleman. You're alive. Okay, I can endure it. My organs and bones seem to all be intact. Let's do this. I can endure this. And then, of course, Einstein over here, Senku, he invents a pulley system. Now, this is a little far-fetched, the way it worked so well, but, he made the rope, he covered it in the soap and stuff, in the limestones, that kind of idea. He made a pulley system out of wood and bamboo and stuff, with a little compacting it and stuff like that. Now, I don't know if this would snap the amount of weight versus the amount, maybe. I'm not a physics major or anything, so maybe this is actually would work very, very well, but I'm surprised it worked on the first try, sort of idea. Because as we saw, just because Senku is a genius and can figure things out, look at the amount of times when they were making the alcohol and stuff like that, and they were making the wine and all that stuff, things were breaking and things were cracking and stuff, and how many birds did he have to test on with the nitric acid until he figured that out, right? So not everything works first try, right? Science is it's experiments. It's trial and error. This one happened to work out, but, it's still logical that it would work inevitably if you had enough time and stuff like that. So, really cool. He lifts the tree trunk. She's mesmerized and basically says the line like, I think I'm going to start falling for you. I think I really started liking you, Mr., sorcerer. And that's the end of the episode. Really good. Really like that, and also we got a call out to the title, Dr. Stone, because they realized the revival fluid, the ability, the petrification is like a heal-all, do-all sort of idea. So Taiju is the one who comes up with this title earlier in the episode, saying, so it's basically, since we don't have doctors, this is like our doctor. This is our Dr. Stone. And it's kind of like, huh? And Senku kind of thinks about it, realizes the implications, what it could mean, all that stuff, and yeah, so that's the one part I missed, but that's the end of the episode, guys. It was a good episode. The last one was, of course, more dramatic and stuff, and for me, a little more hype. But this one was good because we're officially starting to really get into it. The next few episodes, I feel, will not be nearly as grandiose and big moments or anything, but it's still going to progress the story along. Now we're starting into the fight, as I said, Kingdom of Science versus Kingdom of Might, and they're going to start clashing, right? So I'm very intrigued by this. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen next. If they're going to take this anime season in a different direction, because right now it's been very OVA-esque, even though they've moved some stuff around in previous episodes. This one is almost pure OVA. So I'm curious to see how much they will or will not change in the following episodes, because this would, to me, it'd be almost the time to do it, I guess. You could definitely expand on things. You could widen things a little bit here and there, given the next, 5 or 6 or 7 so chapters. So I'm going to be very curious to see the next episode, of course. What did you guys think of the not the chapter, of course. What did you think of the episode? What did you think of the review? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, it's very much appreciated. This has been Griever with your Dr. Stone episode review, and we'll see you back here next time, guys. Peace out.